right? Okay. So next thing is field status variant. So meaning itself says field status variant. So what is the use of this activity is while posting the transactions, I would like to control the fields. Which fields to be displayed, which field is to be mandatory, which field should not be displayed. I would like to control it. Otherwise, if all fields displayed on the screen, users may get confused which fields to be filled, which fields not to be filled it. Okay, I'll tell you first my requirement, then we'll go and start the topic. That's why, because before going to start any topic, first I will explain the object of the particular topic. So that's why if you join the class in time, so you will understand that. So from the direction you will configure the system. You join late, you don't know what's going on in the class. Okay, so please take it seriously. Try to join in time. Okay, you will get ID by sharp 7 o'clock and 7:05. 5 minutes more than sufficient to join the class. Be ready. Okay. So first I'll tell you my requirement. Then we'll see the system how to configure it. Always system has to be configured as per the user's requirement. That's it. Okay, business process is same. Today SAP system, tomorrow some other system. Understand? Business process will remain same only. That's why always try to configure the system to fulfill client's business requirements. Okay, now here my user is asking, I'm going to log on to SAP system. So new joiners, let's concentrate. Again, will be covered in the revision sessions. How to log on, how to operate SAP skills and all. Okay, so my user is posting one document. So like this, we have to navigate and post one transaction. Okay, so already I have an existing system, an existing company code. In that company code, I'm going to post the transaction. See here, document date to posting date to here, today's dates and currency, in which currency you're going to post and which company code. And here, some expenses account added to bank account. Okay, expense account is debit. I will explain. So when I come to the posting screen, I will explain that. But this is not the time to cover this screen, how to post the transaction. Okay. Okay. So here, I would like to post one transaction like expenses account added to bank account. Example, expense account debit, right? So debit point of view posting we have to enter here 40. Okay, 40 is used to determine the line item GL account debit. Okay, which account you want to give debit? Office expense account, right? So we have created one GL code for that. Okay, so you can filter it the company code wise. There's so many accounts are there, right? Then you can filter with 4 series accounts are created for expenses. Example, say office expenses account. This is a GL code I created already for office expenses purpose. Okay, observe here. When I press enter, see, there are few fields. Okay, here, mandatory. See here, this is mandatory field. Observe here, whenever I am going to post the transaction to office expenses account, here cost center is important because cost center means department. So the cost belongs to which department? From that point of view, compulsory this field has to be entered. Example. Okay, fine. Some amount. Department codes means cost center codes I already created. I am going to enter it. So my requirement here is, how did I set this field? Here. How did I set this field? Where did I set this field? You should understand that. Okay, I'll show you that how to control it. And next to narration. Narration here is okay, payment for office expenses like this. First line item completed. Second line item to bank, right? 2 means here 50. So 2 means here 50 credit. Okay, to which line item you want to give credit? Bank account. So we have created a separate GL code for bank account, right? So do we have the bank GL code? If you have it handy, you can directly enter it. In case if you don't know, go to drop down list. We have already created GL codes before post the transaction state. Okay, you can enter your company code, filter it, and you will see here GL accounts. Okay, created for bank purpose, and press enter it. And see here, while posting the transaction to bank account, here the fields are different. Here the fields are different. These fields are mandatory fields. See, observe here, in this account, cost center field is not there, not mandatory. And the field which is required for one nature of account is not required for another nature of GL accounts. Right? So in that case, how we can control the fields? See here, while posting the transaction to bank line item, business area field is mandatory. Example. And next, value date and clearing purpose. Okay, for bank transactions, value date is very, very, very important. So value date, you can enter here current date, 23rd of, okay, you can enter it. See here. And next one is text. Text means narration plus, because I have already entered text in the previous line item, right? You can enter it. Amount to star. See, like this, you have to enter it. Observe carefully. While posting the transactions to office expenses, some fields are mandatory. The field is which is required here may not be required for other fields, other accounts. Okay, and same way, the fields required for bank accounts are not required for office expenses accounts. Understand? So in this case, first you should understand here how to control the fields. Okay, how to control the fields while posting the transactions. If you don't control these fields here, there are hundreds of fields. If all 100 fields displayed in the screen, it will be difficult for users to handle it. Okay, they may not know which fields are required, okay, for bank account, which fields are required for, okay, inventory accounts, which fields are required for, okay, outstanding expenses accounts, like that. Example. Okay, that's the reason. First, to understand the requirement is how to control the field status of document line items. Document line item means what? So each document contains two line items. These are called line items. Okay, line item, SAP terminology, line items. This is one line item and this is another line item. So requirement is while posting the transactions, how to control the field status of these document line items is the requirement. Okay, tell me, if we don't control this field status, okay, how we can manage the fields which are required, which are not required? Understand? Okay, example, see, text field is not mandatory here for office expenses account. My requirement is I want to make this field as mandate. Example, I want to make this field as mandate. Then what to do, where to do, I'll show you that. So first you have to go to this particular GL account in this company code. Concentrate here how to control this field status. Field status means what? Each field has three statuses. Required, compulsory, like this it will be. Like this it will be. Compulsory, you have to fill it. Next, optional, like this. If you feel to enter the data, enter it. Otherwise, leave it also. It is an optional status. Third one is hide, suppress. The field will not be displayed at all. That's it. This is the way each field has three statuses. There are hundreds of fields. If all fields displayed here, screen will not be sufficient. That's why we have controlled nature of the GL account basis. Now I will show you first my requirement. Okay, whenever I am going to post the transactions to office expenses account, text field also required. Example. Okay, then what to do? You have to go to this particular GL account in this company code. Already I created GL account, right? Example. GL accounts are not yet created in your company code. Okay, one by one will be created. So to create GL account, this is one of the mandatory steps. See here. GL master records. Okay. So what is the GL code? 401, right? Here if you observe, each GL account, we have to assign one field status group. Okay. While posting the transactions to the GL account in this company code, whatever field status I have set in this group, accordingly, the screen will be controlled while posting the transactions. See here, while posting the transaction, the screen is controlled by this field status group. In this field status group, I have set which field is mandatory, which field is not mandatory. Example, see, text is here, optional field. And next one, no, cost center is required field. So this G04 level was set చేసాం. Same G04, where did I specify? In my GL account level. GL account లోపల మ్యాప్ చేసాం. In this company code. Later, to the same GL account, in the same company code, I am going to post the transaction. While posting the transaction to the GL account, whatever fields I have set in that field status group, right? Accordingly, it will be displayed. And now, what is your requirement? I want to set this field as mandate because narration is important for each and every business transaction. If it is keep it as optional, my user is forgetting sometimes. Example. In that case, what to do? Go to the respective field status group. In which variant group it is? See, JSWC అనే ఒక వేరియంట్ లో G04 లో కంట్రోల్ చేసుకోవాలి. Okay. Now I have to go to the backend configurations. The consultant is here going to make the changes. User is asking, boss, while posting the transactions, I want this field as mandatory. Now, consultant has identified what is the field status group mapped in the GL account. And now, immediately, consultant is going to backend configuration screen, SPRO. Next, this is the what? Mainly, okay, new joiners. There are mainly two types of screens. One is IMG screen, where the consultant will configure all the activities as per the business requirements. Next one is easy access screen, the facing, front end facing, where the end users post daily day-to-day activities in the respective components. Before going to create master records and post the transactions, first system should be configured by a consultant, functional consultants in the respective areas. Okay, MM console will go to MM section, SD console will go to SD section, and FICO console will go to FICO section. Now, let's make the changes. For each activity in SAP, there are two options. One is path, another one is shortcut code, T code. Okay, now field status variant. Okay, what is the variant I have shown you? JSWC and a variant. In this variant, which field status group we have to control? G04, right? Double click on it. Okay, so one by one, if you want, you can go. Otherwise, if you know the exact section, you can go to the section. I don't know example. Go one by one. Which field you are looking for? Text field. Yes, the field which I want, I found it here itself. Okay, so it is in optional status. Each, I told you, right? Each field has three statuses. Suppress means hide, it will not be displayed. Required means mandatory. Okay, compulsory you have to fill it while posting the transactions. Next, optional means ready for input. Okay, if you would like to enter, you can enter, otherwise just leave it. At this moment, it is an optional status. Now I want it as a required field. Set this field as required. Where did I set this field as required? In G04. Save it. Save in your transport request. Example. Anyway, you can save it, no problem. Press enter it. Done. Okay, done. Now the same field status group G04 is already, or maybe you can assign it in the GL account level. In this company code to the GL account. It is assigned it. Okay, now user is going to post the transactions to the GL account in this company code. Now come back. Let's go and post the transaction. This is the way accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document, and general posting. Document date to posting date, today's date. What is the GL code? Same GL code. Same company code. So, sir, same company code, same GL account. I am going to post the transactions. While posting the transactions, the fields will be controlled. See here, the fields are controlled by the field status group assigned in this GL account. So now it is required fields. This is what it is. And then what is the use of field status group? Field status group is used to control the field status of document line items during the postings. Boss, why we have to control this? If we don't control this, example, see there are hundreds of fields. There are hundreds of fields. See, there are few fields here. And next, there are few fields. And go to next page. See, there are so many pages, fields are there. If all fields displayed in this screen, see here, make it, we kept it under suppress mode, hide. We have hide session. Otherwise, if all fields displayed it, user may get confused and user may have to press enter and enter to go to next page. If all fields displayed here, if there is no control in the screen, it will not be comfortable for users to post the transactions, right? That's why which fields are required, set as required fields. Which fields may required, set as optional. Which fields not at all required to this GL account, then keep it under suppress. Then assign that group in the GL account. Take the same GL account and post the transactions. Accordingly, it will be displayed. This is what it is. Okay. Now you understood the concept of the topic, right? Okay, write down. I will give you notes. Then we'll start one by one. Okay. So hope everyone can hear me clearly. Some people are having some network issues. Keep on joining. So please make sure. Okay, someone has joined. Welcome. Who is that? First of all, you're welcome. Now tell me your name. Okay, so please change it to your name, please. Okay, right. Go ahead. So now you understand the requirement. Go to mute. Don't unmute unnecessarily. Okay, until you have any doubt. Okay, so now you understand the requirement. Okay, same thing. I will show you how to control it for my GL accounts. Okay, now write down everyone. You have seen the output of the topic. Same way like this. I want you to understand the concept first and configure the system and test it and get the same results what you expected. Don't simply write down and go ahead. Okay, write down. Everyone, new joiners also, please start. Topic name is field status variant. Field status variant. Field status variant. Question: what is the field status variant? What is the field status variant? What is the field status variant? Answer. It is just a 4 digits alphanumeric key. It is just a 4 digits alphanumeric key. It is just a 4 digits alphanumeric key, but you can enter with any text field, which contains the field status group. Which contains the field status group. Which contain the field status groups. See here, look at my screen. It is just already said, it is just 4 digits alphanumerical key. It contains multiple field status groups. See, there are field status groups. Okay, why we have these many field status groups? I will tell you that. Okay, what did I say? What is field status variant? It is just a text field. It's a 4 digit text field. It contains many field status groups. Next question, what is the field status group? What is the field status group? What is the field status group? Write down the answer. The field status group is used. The field status group is used to control the field status of document line items. The field status group is used. The field status group is used to control the field status of document line items. Correct? While posting the transactions, line item means what? Debit is one line item, credit is one line item. Means office expenses account is one line item, to bank account is one line item. So those accounts fields while posting the transactions are controlled by the respective field status group. So the field status, many groups are field status. Okay, field status group is used to control the field status of document line items during the postings. The postation up. Okay, na? Posting level fields are controlled by the respective field status group assigned in the GL account. Right? Okay, field status group control the field status document line items. Okay, like suppress. It is also known as hide. Suppress, required, optional, etc. Suppress is hide, required, optional. Like these 3 statuses are there for each field while posting the transactions. So whatever field, whatever status you want, you can set it in the group. Okay. Right now, one more line. Later, the field status group will be assigned in each and every GL account. Later, the field status group will be assigned to each GL account. Later, the field status group will be assigned to each GL account. So here, if you observe, we can set the field status group here as per our requirement. Whatever requirement you want. Then finally, take this and assign in your GL master record. This is what I said. Later, first you have to design the fields, whatever fields you require in the group. Assign that group in the GL account. Without assigning the group in the GL account, the GL master record cannot be created. This is one of the prerequisite. The field status group is one of the mandatory function in the GL master record. Without filling the value in this field, GL master record cannot be created. Okay, that's why it is a very, very important function, field status group. Later, same GL account in the same company code will post the transactions. While posting the transactions, which fields to be displayed, which fields should not be displayed, okay, which fields are mandatory is controlled by the respective field status group. Okay, boss, I understood that how it works, but why did you create here these many field status groups? One is sufficient, right? Why we have here many field status groups? Okay, you may get doubt, boss. Understood. Field status variant is used to control the field status of document line items while posting the transactions. Okay, so far. But what is the reason behind having these many field status groups? Okay, good. I'll give you clarity. Okay, here I have two accounts, account number 1, no, account number 2, and I have two fields, field A, field B, field A, field B. Like these two fields are there. There are one account, account number 2, and fields also. There are two fields are there, A and B. Like this, I have two fields. Okay, field means anything, text, cost center, product center, material example. Okay, my requirement is while posting the transactions to account number 1, A is mandatory field. B field should not be displayed it. While posting the transactions to account number 2, B field is mandatory. A field should not be displayed it. Okay. In this case, you tell me how many field status groups we have to create it. Is this sufficient to handle these two accounts with one field status group? Anyone? Who are required?
No.
Is it possible to control two fields with one field status group? No. In this case, we have to create here two field status group. How will I create it? I will create example G01. Any name you can enter it. I will put here A field mandatory. B field should not be displayed it. Next, I will create another field status group G02. I will set here B field as mandatory. A will not be displayed it. While posting the while creating the GL master records, right? What I will do? I will assign this G01 to account number 1 map chasta. Then what will happen? While posting the transactions to this GL account, A field will be displayed it. B will not be displayed it. Same way. While creating account number 2, I will assign G02 to account number 2. Then what will happen? While posting the transaction to this GL account, B field will be will be available. A field will not be available. This is how you have to control it. Okay, in case if I put only one group and mention both A and B example, then what will happen? This group, if I assign to this GL account, A, it's required, I will enter it. But system will ask me to enter the value in B also. This is not at all required. Okay, if I go to a A, I will enter value B because it's required. But system will ask me to enter the value in A also. Okay, the field which is required for one account may not be required for another nature of account. In that case, you have to create here multiple groups and set the fields which is required nature of that account and set other fields as suppressed. But it is not possible to handle the fields with a single group. That's why here we have these many groups, nature of the accounts. Okay, write down this. You'll understand. Okay, still if there are any concerns, I'll clarify it. Write down. Here there are hundreds of fields. Okay, okay, example here I have taken few fields for reference. Okay, here observe. My requirement is we have different types of accounts. General accounts, cost related accounts, bank accounts, fixed accounts, material accounts. Okay, like this. Different types of reconciliation accounts, different types of accounts. Okay, my requirement is whenever I am going to example, there are so many fields. There are so many fields, but here I have taken few. Here, while posting the transactions to general accounts, so generally, okay, I require business area field. Example, text field matra also. Okay, out of these fields, whenever I am going to post the transaction to general accounts, so okay, I require business area text. Then what I will do? I will create one separate group called G01 example. I'll mention these two fields are required fields. The rest of the fields, so I'll keep under suppress or optional, whatever it is. Example. Okay. Whenever I am going to post the transaction to cost related accounts, I require business area field, text field, and cost center field. That's why I create here separate group G04. You may get doubt, boss, why you have to create G04? Why can't we set it in G01? Okay. If I set cost center also in G01 here, wherever this group is assigned, no, in the GL accounts, while posting the transaction to those GL account, system will ask me to enter cost center. Example, general account, it is assigned to inventory raw material accounts. For example, G01 account group, the field status group is assigned to inventory raw material account. Example, or maybe outstanding expenses account. While posting the transactions to that inventory account and outstanding expenses account, right? System will ask me to enter cost center. As a cost center, సంబంధించిన field cost. Cost center means what? Only cost related. But inventory is not related to cost here. That is asset. It's not required at all. That's what it is. So you cannot manage with one group. Okay, if you go to this group, right? Water fields are available. All are available. Example, see. If I go to G01, water fields are available here. All are available here. Everywhere same fields. Example, chudu, double click on it. See here, some fields mandatory. Example, G01. And if I go to other field, other group, example, same here also, field status text field is there, but it is a different status. The next one, example, cost related accounts. Cost center is mandatory. Means because it is linked to cost related things. But the same thing is not required to balance sheet accounts. For example, cash or bank accounts and all. I'm going to create it, right? So those bank accounts, example, cost center is completely optional. See, the field is required for only cost related accounts, not for bank related accounts. So that's why, okay, if I keep it as optional or if I keep it as mandatory, both the places, both the accounts will be affected. That's why the field which is required for one account may not be required for another account. In that case, you cannot handle all fields in one field status group. That's why nature of the accounts, you have to create these many field status groups. Example, here I have shown you few like this. Okay, you have to create here these many groups. These groups are not created by us by default. Okay, when you copy an existing entry, all will be copied. By default, SAP has set nature of the accounts basis. Which field is required, which field is not required for that. Still, if you would like to modify as per your requirement, you can customize it. You can modify it. Modifying means what? SAP has set here text field as example. Text field here is required. I don't want. Keep it as optional. Or you want as a mandatory. Set it. And if you want to go next level, see here you don't want business area. I don't have business area concept. Okay, by SAP set is mandatory. You don't want. Keep it as optional. Or maybe SAP has kept this field as optional. You want it as mandatory. You can set it. Like this, you can modify the status as per your requirements in your organization. Okay. So please write down these examples. And let me go to bank account. Whenever I am going to post the transaction to bank related GL accounts, value date field is important. See, I require business area field, text field, but additionally value date field. See, here cost center is not required, but in this case value date is not required. See here, the fields required here, not required in another accounts. In that case, it is very difficult to handle all in one group. So better to create one group with these fields mandatory, rest of the fields suppress. Okay, create separate group with these fields mandatory, rest of the fields suppress. While creating the GL account, ICICI bank account, GL account, then go and assign this one. Where I'm going to create rent account, assign this one. Where I'm going to create inventory account, assign this account. Where I'm going to create machineries account, assign this account. See, asset number is mandatory while posting the transaction to fixed assets. But if I specify fixed asset number here in one group, example G01, and make it as mandatory, okay, fixed asset point of view, the requirement can be fulfilled. But while posting the transaction to rent account to inventory account to system will ask me to enter fixed asset number. Rent account ki okay, inventory ki why you have to enter fixed asset number. What is the relation? Huh? That's the reason. Create a separate group and assign it to nature of the accounts. Then what will happen? As the result, what will happen? While posting the transaction to office expenses, only here cost center field, text field mandatory. Whenever I'm going to post the transaction to bank accounts, okay, what are fields you specified in that particular field status group no will be mandatory. See, only cost center text, but business area, validate text. This nature of the fields are different here in this GL account. At control of each and every GL account, okay, we have to specify field status group. This GL account is having G04, and if I go to fixed rate account, here G05 is there. The water fields we define inside here. Accordingly, the postings in this GL account in this company code will be controlled. This is what it is. Got it? So please write down this example also. I'll show you how to configure the same thing in our company code in our system. Now please write down this example. You have seen the output, right? How it works. Please write it down. I'll show you how to make these field status groups available for our company code, for our object. There are so many fields. Example, I have taken here few fields. So the material account suppose is a material number mandatory. Other material number, if I keep it as mandatory field, okay, and assign it to general accounts, what will happen? General account, rent account, ki office expense account, ki also material number adiyate. Office expenses ki rent ki material number deni kasla. That is the problem. Okay. So nature of the accounts, you have to control the fields. Write it down, please. Everyone. Write down the examples. Like this, each and every component has its own function. Field status group control లేకపోతే ఏ ఫీల్డ్ మ్యాండేటరీ ఏ ఫీల్డ్ ఆప్షన్లు అనేది యూజర్ కి హ్యాండిల్ చేయడం వెరీ 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 డిఫికల్ట్. ఎందుకంటే అన్ని ఫీల్డ్స్ స్క్రీన్ మీదకి వచ్చినాయి అంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు హ్యాండిల్. దట్స్ వై ఏ ఫీల్డ్ మ్యాండేటరీ కావాలో కీప్ ఇట్ యాస్ రిక్వైర్డ్. విచ్ ఫీల్డ్స్ నాట్ అట్ ఆల్ రిక్వైర్డ్ 100% go and keep it as suppress. Where you feel may required, keep it as option. That's it. Simple concept. I'll show you the same thing how to configure it in SAP system for our company codes GL accounts. Right now. ఈ నేమ్స్ కూడా మన ఇష్టం వచ్చిన పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. G01 రాజ్యాంగం రాయలేదు. ఓకే, Z001 పెట్టుకో, లేకపోతే T001 పెట్టుకో, మీ ఇష్టం. కోడ్ అంతే, 4 digits కోడ్. ఓకే, write it down please and let me know once you are done. ఇవన్నీ ఫీల్డ్స్ కరెక్టే, బట్ నేచర్ ఆఫ్ ద అకౌంట్స్ బట్టి కంట్రోల్ చేస్తాం. ఏ ఫీల్డ్ ఏ అకౌంట్ కోసం వాటి మ్యాండేటరీ సెట్ చేసుకొని రిమైనింగ్ ఫీల్డ్ సప్రెస్ లో పెట్టుకోవచ్చు బై క్రియేటింగ్ ఏ సపరేట్ గ్రూపింగ్ కోడ్ కి. Later, the same group will be assigned the GL account. ఆ GL అకౌంట్ పోస్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏ ఫీల్డ్ నువ్వు ఏవైతే సెట్ చేసావో ఇవి రెండు మాత్రం డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది. మ్యాండేటరీ. రిమైనింగ్ ఆల్ ఫీల్డ్స్ విల్ బి సప్రెస్. ఓకే, ఇది ఎక్కడైతే అసైన్ చేసావో ఓకే ఇన్ దోస్ GL అకౌంట్స్ ఓన్లీ దీస్ ఫీల్డ్స్ విల్ బి మ్యాండేటరీ, రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫీల్డ్స్ విల్ బి సప్రెస్. అలా. And like this you can create here multiple groups. Example we can 4 create చేసాం. So we will have many different types of accounts ఉంటాయి. So nature of the accounts we have to create the field status groups. Let me know once you're done. Rakshit B. Okay, okay, you join from only one device. Don't join from both.
Yes, sir.
ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఒకటి ముద్దు రెండు వద్దు. Manasa, once you're done. So take the classes seriously and don't miss it. I cannot follow up whether Nadia had joined, whether Pooja had joined, like that. So you know okay, what to do. Take the classes seriously and try to join in time. Good. Done? ఇంతగా వెల్కమ్ పర్సన్ ఎవరు చెప్పలేదు. హూ ఇస్ దట్ వెల్కమ్ పర్సన్? Someone joined with the name welcome. I'm going to disconnect you. Please rejoin and enter your name. Otherwise, you can tell me now. Welcome. Okay, no problem. We'll see later. Okay, so clear? Now you understand the concept of the topic. First, clear. I'm going to show you the place where we have to configure this variant and these groups for our company code. Okay, so please write down the path. Prati step ki path untundi SAP. Each and every activity has its own navigation path and transaction code. Okay, write it down. This is the path. This is where you have to go. I'm coming from the beginning. This is the starting screen, home screen. When you log in into SAP screen, it will come like this. Okay, from here you have to navigate. Okay, there is one transaction code to go to IMG. Everybody aware of that. See here, like this we have to go and get SPRO. Since you are aware of SPRO, every time you don't need to go from here. You can directly enter SPRO in this command field. You know, right? Enter it. When I say SPRO, include this one also. ikkadi raavali SPRO ante IM disk lo undalu. Okay, write it down. SPRO, write down the path. SPRO is the T code gateway to go to IM screen. Next, financial accounting new. Side by side, put arrow mark like this and write down. Financial accounting new. Next, financial accounting global settings new. Financial accounting global settings new. Ledgers fields, define field status variant. In SAP, each and every activity is operated like this. One is through path, another one is transaction code. Now you understand the path, right? Okay, the same path there. Okay, here I am opening. See, I am getting it here. National accounting global settings, next ledgers, the next fields, and the define field status variants. Now you understand the path. Apart from path, each transaction has its own transaction code, right? So here I already told you in the demonstration how to see the T code if you are aware of the path. From menu, addition information. Okay, interest in the T code చూడాలని కుతూహలంతో ఉంటే, okay, like this you can activate it. Otherwise, not required. Directly can go and confirm the activities. But let us see. Like this. Addition information, display key, IMG, activity. Like this, if we navigate it, one addition information will be opened here. In this addition information, max to max, last 4 digit is the transaction code. Okay, that means what? You can navigate like this through path. Otherwise, if you know the transaction code, right, in the starting home screen here, you can directly enter T code. You can enter it. You don't need to go through path. But thing is, my suggestion is for you, always go through navigation path like this. Then you will understand what is the first step, what is the last step, the sequence, all. And that too, one more advantage. Okay, however, I have explained what is field status variant and examples. But still, if you're interested to explore more information from SAP point of view, okay, documentation point of view, right? Then here, go through the documentation. Okay, before going to start any activity, okay, if you're interested to explore, okay, or if you want to understand more, okay, about this activity, go through this documentation. Here it will explain it. In this activity, you can define and add field status groups. Okay, the group several fields are like this. See, you cannot understand. See the theme of the this documentation. Here I explained it, but however, go through it once. Okay, what it says more detailed. Okay, but this kind of knowledge, the document, the information you cannot keep in your mind, the terms and all. So that's why in easy pattern, I have explained in my classroom notes clearly, briefly. See here, what is field status group? Clearly mentioned. Also, field status group is used to control the fields status of document line items while posting the transactions. Simple concept. Okay, the same thing here also explained in different ways. See what it says. Okay, so controls which allows you to work with the same field status group with the other company courses. See here what it says during the document entry. See, the field status determines which fields are ready for input. Okay, which are required entries, which are hidden fields, like this. But how did I say? The same thing I told you in easy pattern to understand. That's why always refer my classroom notes as the top priority. You don't need to refer any other material. But still, if you would like to explore more information, then only you can go through this documentation. That is advantage by going through path. Okay, fine. You found the transaction code, right? I want you to write down the transaction code next to the step. Okay, initially first you have to put one heading, document define field status variant. Next to that, put bracket and write down the transaction code OBC4. OBC4. Next to the step, put bracket and write down. Now, I already told you 4 principles always to follow. First, concept తెలియాలి. Object ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నాం ఈ యాక్టివిటీ అనేది. తర్వాత where to do, how to do, and result. Always you have to follow these 4 questions. నీ మైండ్ లో ఎప్పుడు, okay, ఉండాలి. Concept, I explained. Field status variant is used to control the field status document line items. Super. Clearly covered. Where to do? I told you path and T code. అది వస్తుంది అంటే కవర్. ఓకే, అంటే where we have to perform this activity. Clear? How? I'm going to show you. Result you have already seen it. Now I'm going to show you how to do this activity. Like this, these 4 questions always you have to have in your mind and each and every activity. Don't simply write and go. Okay? And now I'm going to show you this activity in SAP system, how to do it. Okay, go inside. What it says is, Basu, if you would like to create, you can create one variant newly. But SAP recommends you, instead of creating newly, already SAP has set the field status, nature of the accounts, which fields should have it. Already designed from global requirement point of view for some model company codes. Example 0001, 1000, like this. There are some model company variants. So in case if you want to use any one of them, either 0001 or 1000, you can copy it. You select it and click on copy as button. Then when you are going to copy as, you have to enter your company code name, right? FT01. Okay, Big Bazaar. This is my company code key created for Big Bazaar. We are implementing SAP for feature group. So this is one of my company code key. Description you can mention here. Field status for Big Bazaar. Example. Let's see, enter it. When you copying entries, it may ask you, Basu, do you want to copy only the variant and as well as groups? Then click on copy all button. No. I want to copy only the variant key. Then click on only copy entry. Nobody will copy entry. Okay, we have to copy all the groups also. So click on copy all button. Okay, whatever field status designed by SAP, the same thing is now copying to my variant. Still I can modify it as per my requirement, as per my user's requirement. See, boss, inside there are 50 groups are there. All 50 groups are now copied to your variant. Okay, no problem. Select your variant and double click on the groups. See what are we have inside in 1000. All are here copied. It. Okay. So here I would like to design with my groups. You can create new group also if required it by clicking this button. Not required. Existing groups are more than sufficient. Okay. Here I am going to use G01 is for my general accounts. Example, rent accounts, like bank account, like that. Wherever I am going to, inventory accounts. Wherever I am going to post the transaction to bank accounts, so I will use G05 at this moment. Going forward, one by one, we'll use G04 cost accounts controlling side. Okay, one by one, we'll use it. Until then, example, this is the one. General accounts ki G01 and bank accounts ki G05, I would like to design it. Okay, my requirement is, whenever I'm going to post the transaction to general accounts, I want to set, and by default, SAP has provided the field status for text is as optional field, But I want this as mandate. My requirement. This is my requirement. I'm going to modify it. Okay. I want text field mandatory and also business area also mandatory. Business area field is available here. Example, not available. Maybe available in the next group. Is it available here? Yes. See here it is there. Take it as mandate. Now what else you required? I don't want anything. Okay. See, still there are 4 pages. If you want to go to next page also, you can go. Okay, yes, I don't want any other fields. Okay, save it. Save in your transport it. Save it. Save in your transport request. Done. If you observe here carefully, I have designed one field status group as per my requirement. I want text field, business field, mandatory, rest of the fields okay, optional, remaining field suppress. Now, whenever I'm going to create rent account to inventory account to, okay, office as expenses as outstanding expense accounts to, okay, like that, if I create, no, I will assign this group. Whenever I'm going to create bank accounts, I'm going to use this group. You may get doubt, boss, why can't we control the fields required for bank account in this group itself? But whenever I'm going to post the transaction to bank accounts, no, value date is important. If I put the value date field here, while posting the transaction to, okay, rent account, system asks me to enter value date, which is not at all required, not at all related to that. That's why I am going to create here a separate field status group. What else you required? Text bill required. Okay, so far already set it. Next, business area field also required. Okay, so far next it. Next, value data. Is it available here? Available, 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 not available. Let's go to next group. Available? No. Available? Yes. See, value data. How you want? Required. Where did you set it? 005. Save it. Later, the same G05 field status group I will assign in my GL account. Whenever I'm going to get GL account later, right? Okay, later. What is the value date? Okay, good point. Okay, it will be covered in the bank transactions level. Okay, don't worry. So for okay at high level, if you want to understand. Okay, so for example, after that 12 o'clock, if you go and withdraw some money from ATM, you will understand practically what is the transaction date, what is the value date. Okay, today night, okay, just be wake up and go to ATM and withdraw some cash and take the slip. And tomorrow you tell me what is the difference between transaction date and value date. Okay, that's why value date means bank clearing point of view, it will be required. Understand? So that's what it is. For transaction date, okay. Okay, for example, today 23rd, today midnight, okay, after 12 o'clock, if you go and withdraw the cash, what is the transaction date? Okay, 24.
24.
The value date, that's one. See the difference and send me to a screenshot tomorrow, you'll understand. Okay, I have still, okay, clarification point of view, when I come to the bank transactions, I'll show you. And the bank point of view, the clearing purpose, okay, it is required. Generally, for others, it is not at all required. Document date means invoice date. Post date means on which date we are going to post it. So posting level, I will explain Bharat. Now it's not required. Don't worry. See, while creating the GL master record, right? Here you have to specify it. The field is as G05, I will assign it. Now our company code FT1 is ready. All settings required to create GL master record in my company code also now ready with this activity. Even in our company code, also you can create GL accounts because all the mandatory settings required to create are now in place. So it is not assigned. That's why it is okay. Still, after definition you have to assign it. Not yet done. That's why it is asking. If I assign it, it will be done. Don't worry. Okay. So like this, you have to assign the G05 group onto my GL accounts. Overall summary wise, how to define the variant also you understood. Like this, always you have to follow these 4 principles. Got it? Good. So you understood the active name, where to do, how to do, and result. And finally, after you define the variant, right? Save it. The same variant you have to assign it to our company codes. So next step, write down next activity name. Assign company code to field status variants. Assign company code to field status variants. Assign company code to field status variants. What are variant you define? That has to be assigned to our company codes. See, path same path. Okay, so you can simply write down path same as the above one. You don't need to write down complete path. I already told you path here, right? I want you to refer the same path. Okay, refer same path. Each activity has its own T code, right? For this separate T code is there, OBC5. OBC5. This is what it is. Let's go and see inside. Go inside. This is where you have to click. The clock symbol is there, right? Here you have to click. Okay, here there are no any new entities button. You have to go to position. Okay, what is my company code key I created? FT01 and FT02. There are two company codes in my group, feature group. Okay, so here you have created one variant, right? What is the name you entered for variant? Any 4 digits key, but here I followed same naming format as per my company code. That's why I can easily identify it. Same variant. Entry point of view, they may ask question. Can one field status variant be assigned to more than one company code? Like this. Can you assign it to more than one company code? Answer, yes. So please write down the question. Can we assign one field status variant to multiple company codes? Answer, yes. It can be assigned it. Yes. It can be assigned. Like this, observe one field status variant to assign it to more than one company code. If I could assign it to more than one company, two company codes, that means what? Even 1000 company codes also, I can assign the same variant, right? Save it. Save in your transport request. Transport request. Yes. Now entry is successfully saved. Now I am in position here to create the GL master records in my company code. See, FT01 now ready. Okay, even in your system also, your company code is now ready to create the GL master records. Okay, whatever settings required to create GL master records, right? All are now in place. Example, I say that. Okay, like this. Later I'll show you how to create it. Why we are selecting one by one, I'll show you. So here, whatever field set group I created, right? G01005. Now my list will come. By assigning the variant to my company code, I can get this list. Otherwise, I cannot get this list. You can't get this list here available. Okay, so G05, and then I need to save it. Then while posting the transactions, same GL code, same company code, I'll use it and post the transactions. This is the way field status group is assigned in the GL master records, and the GL master records fields are controlled during the postings. దీని లోపల ఏ fields అయితే సెట్ చేసామో, okay, what are fields we have set in this group, right? Only those fields will be available while posting the transaction to this GL code in this company code. The main concept of the field status group. Otherwise, very difficult to handle the fields while posting the transactions. Clear? Now, end to end about this topic is over. You understand how to define the variant and how to assign to company code also. Okay, one logic here, if you observe, one important point you are going to understand. Now, what it is? I want to tell you one variant principle concept. If you observe here so far, we have defined multiple variants, right? Example, posting period variant, field status variant, press clear variant. All the variants of common principle follow us the number. If you observe, you know what it is? First, we variant define chestunam. Then inside we are going to maintain the settings. Then final company code map chestunam. Examples, posting period variant. Okay, tarvata company code map chesi. In that variant, from which period to which period, system should allow the posting we maintain. Same way, press clear variant. Here we maintain settings. Okay, which period, how many days, all these things. Then final assigned to company code. Same way, field status variant. Which field is mandatory, which field is not mandatory, we maintain the settings. Then finally, assign it to company code. Example of a general question it is. Okay, write down if you are interested. Variant principle. What is the variant principle? The general question it is based on the activities we covered so far. Just I want you to observe the variant principle, how the variants are getting created. Okay, write down the general question. అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే వేరియంట్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఫస్ట్ వేరియంట్ కీ డిఫైన్ చేసుకుంటున్నాం, దాని లోపల సెట్టింగ్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేస్తున్నాం, ఫైనల్ గా కంపెనీ కూడా మ్యాప్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూసుకుంటే టెస్ట్ వేరియంట్ అలాగే జరిగింది, పోస్ట్ వేరియంట్ అలాగే జరుగుతుంది, ఫినిష్డ్ వేరియంట్ సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్. ఓకేనా, డన్. నౌ ఆల్మోస్ట్ okay, what are the settings generally required to create your master records are now in place. Not almost 100% ready. Next master record creation, postings pending. I want everyone to be perfect up to postings. If you know how to post a transaction, then 70 to 80% entire FICO model, how the data is flowing, you can easily understand it. Okay, I already told you that. Clear? That's it. Any specific doubt before going to start on this topic? First, you understand, right? Manasa, Vishal, what is fiduciary variant, what it is, and how?
Yes, Vasu.
Yamana. Okay, good. Okay, now come to your doubt. Okay, Abid. See, okay, this is not for everyone. I already told you. Simply you maintain here your field status variant and whatever periods you want to open, no, specify from which period to which period you would like to open it. I already told you very clearly. See here, Ashok. Specify from which period to which period you want to open it.
Okay.
These periods are applicable for all the accounts, no?
Yes.
Do here plus. Use here plus. Then two period, right, is applicable for all, and save it. That is enough. You no need to make any additional settings here. In case if you want to control the fields of account type wise, then again specify one more variant key. See here, Abhi.
Yes, sir.
And select which accounts you want it. Okay, accordingly you can select GL, vendors, materials, customers. Then specify. When you specify the particular account type, then only I told you from a to account to from account you have to specify. Okay, when you specify plus, no, okay, please leave from account to account to blank, because valid for all account types and all valid for all accounts. That's
Okay.
why it is. Okay, so always keep this field blank. Hope you understand. Try. Still it is not resolved. Let me know. We'll see in next session.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Any specific doubts? So please start doing practice. Yeah, Ravi, tell me.
Yeah, sir. What is transport request we are getting? Who will generate those transport requests in the
So
system?
voice is too low, Ravi. Can you please speak a little bit loud?
Yeah, once we are creating these, we are getting transport requests, correct? Who will
Correct.
generate those transport requests into the system?
Okay. Who is going to generate the transport request? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I already told you, right? What is the use of transport request? Huh? Transport request is used to carry the data from one client to another client. Yeah. See, like this. This is the landscape, right? In this landscape, observe, we have to set up minimum 3 systems: development system, quality system, production system. Okay, first we have to configure all the activities in development. Later we will set up a separate system, quality system. Okay, we have to test it. You no need to test, sorry, you no need to configure all the activities whatever you have configured here again. Then what to do? Then without test, without data, how we can test it here? The configuration data. you have to copy it. How I can copy from one client to another client? Through transfer request. So transfer request concept is, transfer request is used to copy the data from one client to another client within the server or across the servers. The first transfer request concept first. Okay, boss, I know that transfer request is used to copy the data. Okay, super. Your question is, who will create the transfer request and how? Okay, who will move the data from one client to another client? Is okay, depends on the project. Okay, you may get authorization to create it directly in the configuration activity change level itself. Okay, in case if it is a big client, okay, and a big process is there, no, then they will set up one kind of solvent system, a separate tool, solution manager, and charm process you have to follow, and you have to create one transfer request on your own, okay, by following the process. In some projects, you may have to drop an email to the separate team will be available, okay, basis say transfer request management. So you have to drop an email. So they will create based on the details you provided, whether it's customer request or workbench request or all these things. Then you have to copy the data into the transfer request. Depends on the project. Okay, so here it is live. Okay, here it is the training system, right? You have full access in this system. You can create your own transfer request and you can put all your changes into the transfer request. But live environment, process to client to client, the process might be little bit different. But what you have to do is, all you have to do is understand what is transfer request and how it works. Depends on the project. They will give you KT how to move the data from development system to quality system through transfer request on your own, or else you have to drop an email to basis team to remove the changes from development to quality, and after that development to production environment. Okay, na? So what I'm saying is, long story to cut it short, because it depends on the process. Depends on the client to client process. Okay, some clients, okay, they will allow you to create on your own. Some clients will ask you to drop an email to basis team. Okay, and some clients, okay, without depending on anyone, you can they will follow one kind of charm process, change management process, and solution manager tool with. So in that you can go and create it, okay, for your changes, your own transfer request, okay, like that. You don't need to upload basis consultant also. You can test the objects, you upload the change results, and you can move to next level also, one by one. Otherwise, you have to create the changes in development system, move the, okay, then you have to drop an email to basis team, please move the changes from development to quality. After the changes are deployed to quality environment, you have to test it, and with that with those test results, again you have to ask your basis consultant to move the changes from development to production environment, like that. But nowadays, right, okay, instead of depending on others, see, I have to drop an email to basis person might be busy, okay, then your deliverables are getting impacted instead of depending on others. So okay, nowadays to make this process very smooth, charm process and a process and implement చేసి, okay, different గా నీ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ రిక్వెస్ట్ నువ్వు ఓన్ గానే okay డిప్లాయ్ చేసుకునే విధంగా చేస్తారు, okay, ప్రాజెక్ట్ కరెంట్. ఓకేనా? You'll understand what after you know how to create.
And one more thing, can I ask one more? Hello.
Voice బాగా స్లోగా ఉంటుంది.
Yeah, Vasant. One more thing. Now we are discussing about the field status variant. You are showing for that particular one GL account, like ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, like one bank account. Can't we create? Can't we do the changes for all bank accounts, like bank accounts, GL accounts?
Correct. For example, see field status group. This is not only for the GL account. This can be used for nature of the same GL account. Example, this is for what purpose I created, ICICI Bank purpose. So that means this field status group belongs to not only the GL account. Understand? So while creating GL account, for example, okay, SBI account, separate code will be created. Example, in that GL account also, I have to assign the field status group. Without assigning the field status group, the GL account cannot be created. So what type of GL account it is? Example, it is ICICI Bank GL account. For bank related GL account purpose, what is the field share group? Okay, I designed separately G05. Like this, I have to assign it. Any bank accounts, ఇది ఒక్క ICICI bank కదా, అన్ని all nature of bank accounts, so the field status group would be same only. Okay, this is not only for one particular GL account. Same group can be assigned.
But there is any option to give for all bank accounts at once. That is
in single shot. So GL accounts are created. See, how you are going to create GL accounts? If you are going to create GL account manually, right, one by one, so you have to assign manually. So we have multiple options also. Okay, boss, I have 100 GL accounts are there, so I want to create all 100 GL accounts at a time. In that case, okay, by using this transaction code, you have to do recording and for create one separate LSM. There is separate process is the LSMW. Okay, in that LSMW flat file, you have to create one flat file format, put all the inputs inside, and upload that file into SAP system. Okay, in single shot, all hundreds, thousands of GL account will be created. Okay, in that case, if you whatever input you have assigned here, no G01 kavala, G04 kavala, 5 kavala, accordingly it will be created. Okay, that's one thing. And if you want to change, example, 100 GL account, same field list group in single shot. Okay, example. Wait for a minute. This and all. Okay, one by one. After you know how to create GL master records, right? You can understand it. Okay, now you don't need to go into detail. See, there is separate. Okay, this is for individual transaction. This is more than one collective. Which fields you would like to change? Field status group. You want to change it for more than one GL account? Example, yes. In that case, specify. Okay, I have created many accounts in this company code. Let me go inside. Okay, what is your requirement? Okay, your requirement is, boss, for all the GL accounts, example, I want to change my field status group. Okay, in that case, very simple. So field status group, you would like to change it, right? So you have to go to example restrictions button. See, this is the which file? Wherever G01 is there, example, see our CM8. See, wherever field status group G01 is there, you want to replace with example G05 example. In that case, click on mask change button. First you have to select it, right? Select this, wherever it is there. Right. So my requirement is here. Okay, I want to change the field status group from G01. Wherever G01 is there, I would like to replace that with G05. I selected it, right? Select all and replace it. This is new. Oh, this is new one and this is replacement. Okay, new one is G05. Okay, which one has to be replaced? It wherever G01 is there. Sorry. You can carry out. See, automatically it change it. See, wherever. This is what it is. Okay, na? One by one you will understand. Day one you get GL master record creation. Okay, don't worry. Sequence Chalo, to practice on the topics whatever we covered. That's enough. One by one all will be addressed.